This is a Headgum podcast.
Comedians Nick Wiger and Mike Mitchell review fast food and chain restaurants in this podcast, whose name evokes World War I infantrymen. Roy.
What are Doughboys?
That's the show.
In 1981, the nascent video game industry was forever altered by a new arcade cabinet from Nintendo, a company then best known as a Hanafuda card manufacturer. Directed by Legend of Zelda creator Shigeru Miyamoto and produced by the father of the Game Boy, Gunpei Yokoi, Donkey Kong was a sensation, introducing the world to its titular ape antagonist and the player's surrogate, a mustachio and red overalls then known as Jumpman and today known as Mario. Unfortunately, the coin-op triumph of Donkey Kong was not reflected in its home versions, often shoddy ports due to inferior console hardware, or its sequels, the less successful Donkey Kong Jr., and the baffling Donkey Kong 3, a crude shooter in which the player assumes control of Stanley the Exterminator. And while Mario would become a jump-up superstar in his own franchise, the Donkey Kong IP would be relatively unexplored after its breakout launch, until the early 1990s, when Nintendo entrusted the character to UK developer Rare. The end result, 1994's Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, was a charming and tough-as-nails platformers with then stunning 3D-rendered characters and an inspired soundtrack by David Wise. The Rare reboot breathed new life into the Donkey Kong canon, reimagining the barrel-tossing lady kidnapper as a necktie-wearing jungle defender, and significantly, expanding the Kong family. New characters included nimble ball-cap-wearing monkey Diddy Kong, surfer dude war profiteer Funky Kong, sexy sultry simian Candy Kong, and testy whitebeard Cranky Kong, widely speculated to be the original DK. Two Super NES sequels added to the Kong count by introducing Dixie Kong, Kitty Kong, Swanky Kong, and Cranky's wife, Wrinkly Kong. When Rare's final Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong 64, debuted in 1999, the Kong count swelled even further to add Chunky Kong, Lanky Kong, and Tiny Kong. Wrinkly Kong grimly appeared as a ghost in the new entry without explanation, apparently killed off camera after the events of Donkey Kong Country 3. And when it comes to franchises with individuals sharing the same name distinguished by descriptor, you can also include a Greek-American concept founded in 2012 in Northern California. Cousins Nick, Nick, and Nick, aka Baby Nick, Big Nick, and Little Nick, collaborated on the idea after Baby Nick returned from Greece with a hunger for authentic gyros. The eatery grew to over 50 locations in under a decade, and in 2022, the fast-growing chain was bought by Yadav Enterprises, a franchising company that oversees 600 Jack in the Box and TGI Fridays locations. As for this triforce of cousins all having the same name, by tradition they were all named for their grandfather, Nick, and labeled to separate them. Perhaps lending more credence to the Cranky Kong was the original Donkey Kong theory. This week on Doughboys, Nick the Greek. Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants. I'm Nick Wiger, along with my co-host, Salvador Deli, the Spoon Man Mike Mitchell.
Salvador Deli. That's pretty good.
That's it. That is the roast. I love you, Mitch, from Brandon. How about that?
My sandwich, the turkey is like coming out the side and coming down.
Yeah, can you imagine the horror of a melted sandwich?
Sandwich melt, pretty good.
Yeah. Melted
Salvador's Deli is seems like a kind of a pretty good restaurant.
That's a good name. I'm surprised there might be a food truck that's Salvador Deli somewhere.
Where was Salvador Dali from? Is he Spain?
I think he's Spanish, yeah. Oh.
I'll Google it.
What are you doing with that information?
I was going to Google it later, that's all.
Okay.
Salvador Deli, Spain.
You want me to look it up now?
I think you should.
You want me to look up Salvador Dali or Deli?
Salvador Deli.
You want me to look up Salvador Deli,
Well, I guess we
Spain?
should find out if he's from Spain first, right?
Hold on. I'm pretty sure he's from Spain. Yes, he was a Spanish surrealist artist. Salvador Deli.
Deli. Restaurant.
Did you mean Salvador Dali?
Yeah, that's going to be the issue.
Okay.
The Salvador Deli.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's such a
Wow.
right there sort of pun that you'd imagine someone would have already capitalized on it. Where is the Salvador Deli?
Hold on, I gotta look at it again.
Okay.
Salvador Deli. Shit, it went away. It was a recommendation.
Salvador Deli, Spain is still, even if I'm ignoring Salvador Dali, it's still driving me towards Salvador Dali, I think because Spain is in there.
All right, Salvador
So,
Deli. Here we go.
If I just do Salvador Deli,
This is Facebook.
yeah, I mean, there's an El Salvador Deli, but that's a different thing. Deli El Salvador. So these are maybe about like Salvadoran restaurants. And that's a different thing than a pun on Salvador Dali's name. Is it Dali? Everyone says Dali, but look, there's an accent over the I. Is it Dali? Salvador Dali?
You're asking me?
I don't know.
I'm going to solve this for you? What's that?
Salvador Dali has a painting. I'm calling him Salvador Dali now. A painting called The Great Masturbator.
Shit. You know what sucks is like it would be fun to be like, that's you or me, but like, we're not that good at it. This guy's probably good, I'm guessing, right?
I would have to be. Have a painting named after him.
I got so much shit for saying I jacked off into the shower.
You got shit for that?
Online, like online, like jacked off into the dry shower.
But what were people doing? How were they criticizing?
They were like, because they were like, a dry shower? That's insane. I'm like, well, I like clean it up. It's not like I just like, you know what I mean? Not like I just like, I don't shoot it in there
and leave it.
And they also, there was also talk of they actually, it's funny that they don't think they talk about, I'm not even going to, actually, you know what? 2024, no cum talk.
Have we?
Wow.
This is the thing. We already have a few 2024 episodes in the can. Some have already been released. I don't know if we've already talked about cum on those episodes, so we might have already gone past it.
I doubt it.
No cum in 2024?
I think no cum in 2024. That's the way people are going to react.
Am I having deja vu, or did we make this deal with ourselves once before?
I think we probably did. I don't think
we
you're
did
having
something
deja
similar
vu.
where we were like, we're not saying this year, and then we immediately did it.
The little prudes, someone was like the cum talk doesn't bother me, but even this episode, they talked too much about cum. They were like they were mad about our cum talk.
Stop reading these comments.
I know.
It's not helping you.
I know.
What if this is someone's episode 1? Or like looking at Lifehacker of like 10 food podcasts to start off the new year. It's like, oh, I'll check this thing out.
That's their fault.
These guys are making a no cum pledge. Yeah, that's their fault.
Look, your parents listen to this podcast. My mom has listened before.
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, I guess we're shameless. I guess is probably the issue.
I just saw your mom, by the way. She
You
came
did.
by. She dropped you off. I gave her a big hug.
Here's the crazy
Looking great.
thing. As
Looks like
that was
$1 million
happening,
bucks. Yeah.
my mom was taking my car, and I rolled up the passenger side window, closed the window on my fingers.
Yes.
I've never done that before. Fucking hurt.
You all right?
I think so.
You ever? But that's one of those injuries where you're like, you didn't realize it could be an injury, right?
Yeah.
I've maybe said before, and this is a place our guest knows well, but the old UCB theater, the backstage, one of the stage doors, like I turned the knob on it, and this was during a show, and as it was closing, somehow the skin on the palm of my hand got caught in the turning mechanism.
Oh my god!
And it as it closed, just ripped open an inch and a half seam of skin that just immediately started gushing blood. And I did, and this was an old show called Sketch. It probably still goes on, called Sketch Cram, where it's like an hour-long sketch show. And so I did the rest of the show holding a paper towel to absorb the bleeding from my hand. Yeah, isn't that crazy? But I was like, how can you injure yourself this way? Who thinks that the flesh of their hand can get caught in a doorknob? But it happened to me.
I got a question for you. Who was the door installer? Pinhead? Seems like something you'd like.
I was messing around with the lament configuration backstage, so that might have been partly on me.
I mean, our guests will remember. I got to do the drop.
Yeah, do your drop.
Just Spoon Nation, but our guests will remember how often this guy had the lament configuration backstage. He was always messing around with that thing. Emma hit him with a drop.
Pecan.
Yeah.
With stress on the first syllable, pecan. With stress on the second syllable,
pecan. It's a piss festival.
Wait, what is it?
Isn't it?
Couple more options. Pecan. Pecan. Pecan.
Strategery.
Pecan. Pecan. Pick-an. Nope. Peking.
Do I make you horny, baby?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I liked it more as it went on, honestly.
Yeah, it grew on me.
Hi, Drop King and Mitch. I spent too much time on this drop. Please enjoy it.
Honey, come to bed. Not now.
Honey, I have to film the new Fast and the Furious tomorrow. It's Charlize Theron. Please enjoy it regardless of whether or not it's played on the show. Josh, Burger Brigade, plus Canadian Creamsman.
Wow. Thanks, Josh.
Burger Brigade. Fuck off. Anyways, it's a kind of embarrassing when you hear this old show a little bit and it's bad. But then you know what? We're making the new shows and they're bad.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's nice.
It is nice, Mitch.
Roald Dahl. We were talking about him before the show started,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just saying that Augustus Gloop didn't really do anything wrong, and I just thought that. I mean, like people have probably already come to this, right? Like people have already come to this conclusion.
Yeah, I think a lot of what happened in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or the Source Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, has been relitigated at this point. But yeah, he certainly probably went a little too far.
Yeah,
old Wonka.
Are you ready for young Wonka?
We'll have seen young Wonka by the time this episode is out.
Well, yeah, first day you and I have gone.
I'm going to the midnight screening.
Augustus Gloop is just a little gloop of a nut.
Will that be in the movie? We're gonna find out.
I'm not saying the other. You think that
Wait, so it's just the word?
It's just the word cum. We can talk about ejaculate. But we just can't say
a literal
cum.
3-letter word.
You think that the end of the movie is like a little? It's the gloop of Augustus Gloop.
That's the mid-credit sequence. Just a
Whoa, like going into the egg.
Just a load in a dry shower. Close push in on it. Our guest today, very excited to have her back, Becky Feldman. Becky, thank you for being here. Thank you for tolerating all that.
Oh my God, I came here to talk about cum.
Becky, no!
Becky.
I'm so bummed that today's night.
Well, you didn't give it up. We gave it up.
That's
Oh,
true.
thank God. Okay.
We can't engage, really.
Becky, we're recording this in 2023, but this is coming out in 2024. And I'm curious, are you someone who is a New Year's resolutions? Do you make New Year's resolutions? Do you ever, and specifically, does it ever involve food?
Oh, you know what? Like, I make New Year's resolutions, and it doesn't usually involve food. It's usually like remember to vacuum. Like, it's like dumb stuff. Like, not like not self-improvement, but like, oh, when you leave, turn off the AC. You know, like stuff that I should know. You know, that I'm not doing.
I like that those are achievable.
Low-key resolutions.
And tangible improvements in your life.
Yeah.
That's
Do
great.
they carry over? Are they things that like you carry over for like from then on out you've fixed the problem, or?
I do vacuum more. I did get a new vacuum, and I think that had something to do. I got the cordless vacuum, and I think that helped. So that helped. But so I am a vacuumer. So I'm perfect. Is my point. I'm perfect.
What did you go with the Dyson? What cordless vacuum do you get?
The Shark one. Is there a Shark one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got that one. I got it as a Hanukkah present.
Wow.
From my brother and sister-in-law.
Wow.
It was very nice of them.
That's very exciting.
That's very exciting.
Is that
that's a good present. That's a great present.
They knew I had wanted it because they wanted to get a new. Oh, this is the best story you're ever going to hear. Actually, it's not. This is the worst story. I kept asking them for their old vacuum, and they just got me a new one, which was very nice because oh my God, because my brother cut his finger like the way you cut your hand on on a mandolin or whatever it's called.
Oh my God.
He cut.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Judge. He cut his thumb off, and I get this like panic call, and they're like, "Can you watch our kid because we have to go to the emergency room because he cut like the top of his thumb up." And this was Christmas Eve. This was because they were making Christmas Eve dinner.
Yeah.
And so he had like this like giant thumb for the longest time, and so I came to the rescue because I'm great. And and as a thank you, they got me a Shark vacuum, so I would shut up about asking them for their old vacuum.
That's nice.
It was very nice, yeah.
Here's what I find with, and this could just be the model cordless vacuum I have. It has a little less suction power than the plugged-in one. And that's a little bit of a step back. I found the same thing with because for a while I was using a cordless razor, and they eventually just switched to and this is like the beard trimmer. I'm clean shaven now, but when I have a little bit of scruff, I just switched to the plug-in model because it's got a little more horsepower. Yeah. But yours is still getting the job done.
It's good. I mean, my apartment is the size of this corner. Like, it's very small. I don't need like it takes me 5, and I couldn't even vacuum my apartment for 5 minutes. That's how long it takes. Right. So yeah, it gets the job done. I still kept my plug-in vacuum because, just in case I make a real big mess.
Right. No, it's nice to have that heavy-duty option.
Did your brother get that mandolin from Captain Corelli? Yeah, and guess what? It was a re-gift because he got it from Pinhead.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look up Captain Corelli's mandolin on your phone? Is that what you were doing while she was telling that story? Okay.
And it is a mandolin, right? Like,
yes,
it's called a mandolin.
No, I didn't search mandolin movie. It was Captain Corelli. How could I forget?
That's right.
Captain Jack Sparrow meets Captain Corelli.
Oh, man. Can you imagine?
Oh, like a captain's movie? Like all the captains?
A captain's crossover?
Captain's crossover. Quarters. It's a weird name for a movie, but if you call it Captain Crossover, it's pretty good. Well, I Captain Quarters?
Captain's Quarters, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Like all the captains are converging.
Yeah.
That's like a fun sitcom.
You could throw in Captain
Sully?
Picard. Yeah, throw in Sully. Why not?
Sully's there.
Just a random dance captain, who's
That's
13. That would be fun.
Did Epstein fly the little Lolita?
He's a captain. Yeah, I think he would be a captain.
All right, he's in it. He's in it.
Yeah. I mean, he's in it.
I couldn't even think of other besides I was just
Captain America.
Captain America.
There's plenty of captains.
There's a lot of captains.
Figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk.
Captain's bigger now. I shouldn't try.
No, say it.
Just Captain's bigger now. I think Captain America really captains are kind of big again, right? For a while there.
Yeah, I mean,
Captain Corelli is one of the big ones for a while. Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch is a big. Well, that's the thing. For the longest time, it was a nautical thing. It was a sea captain. That was the big Captain Ahab. That was those are your big captains, And then you start to get then the Starfleet captains. That's his own thing. Now it becomes more of a science fiction thing. And then obviously Captain America makes it a whole superhero thing. So
you read Moby Dick this year, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I haven't read it yet. That was
you haven't read
thing
it yet.
I meant to do. Yeah,
a lot of our friends have read Moby Dick.
I know. It's
why is everyone reading it? It's my goal to never read it.
I love that goal for you. I think it's great.
That's a great New Year's goal.
Thank
if that's
you
what you want
so much.
do.
I want to live the rest of my life having never read it, actively not reading it.
I think it's very possible for you to do that. It's a great question. I mean, someone sent a segment. Our friend Max Mayer sent Wiger and I a segment of it the other day, and it was that segment was beautiful. I was like, oh, this is a great little. This is great, but a lot of it isn't it about whale blubber and shit? Isn't it
I think it's really well written. I mean, I think a good way to characterize it is in the amazing book Moby Dick by the author Herman Melville. The author recounts his story of being at sea. In the first part of his book, the author, calling himself Ishmael, is in a small seaside town and he is sharing a bed with a man named Queequeg. And I felt saddest of all were the boring chapters that were only descriptions of whales because I knew that the author was just trying to save us from his own sad story just for a little while. Put down your hog and that meatball sub. Listen to my Moby Dick essay. I'm your daughter.
Well, now I want to read it.
Was he jacking off? Well, oh, it's when he's having a heart attack.
He's having a heart attack.
Jacking off causes the heart attack.
Jacking off causes a heart attack.
Needs the poem.
Meatball sub also causes a heart attack.
Meatball sub causes a heart attack.
He thinks he's dying, and so he wants someone to read his daughter's essay because it's the most beautiful thing he's ever read.
It is. We've talked about this. But the essay is bad.
It's not bad, but it's not.
No, it's bad.
It's not a great essay.
Yeah.
But it is I understand that, from a storytelling standpoint, it's supposed to be it's important to him because it's from someone he cares about. I understand that much. That tracks for me.
We get that, but we also know it sucks.
I don't think the movie is good. I do not like the. Did you see The Whale?
I did not, no.
I don't think you need to see The Whale.
Okay, I won't.
I would read Moby Dick before you see The Whale.
I would read Moby Dick before you see The Whale.
No, I'm never gonna. Well, okay. I mean, when I first came out that I'm hi, I'm a romance. I used to pretend that I read real books, not romance novels. So I was would always So when I finally became proud of it, I was no, 50 Shades of Grey is just as important to the cultural zeitgeist as Moby Dick. And so I'm never going to read Moby Dick. And I was just angry about that for a really long time. And now everyone's reading Moby Dick. And so now I'm like, well, should I read it? Like, it's crossing my mind, but I made this promise to like my 24-year-old self that I would never read it. And it's really hard being in my brain right now.
Well, you know my vote. Don't read. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What are we doing here?
Well,
wait, also, just quickly to clarify, does Moby Dick end with a big guy floating into the air, or is that the whale?
That's the whale.
Okay,
the whale is the one where,
okay,
he ascends to heaven.
And the protagonist in Moby Dick, does he eat meatball subs and jack off to porno or no?
That's you're thinking again of the whale.
Okay, all right, sorry.
That's the whale. Yeah.
Sorry.
What is okay? So you know, I've guested on your wonderful podcast about romance novels, and I know that it's something you're a fan of. Is there anything going on in romance novels in 2023? Like, are you someone who keeps up with the current releases?
I try to keep up with the current trends. What's crazy is that it is like the world of romance novels is very like vast and bigger than you think, and there's all these infighting and there's book talk and all this stuff. So I am barely able to like scratch the surface of what's going on. I know what I like, and lately, like the latest thing is like, well, it's actually kind of old, but like is romances where if it's a straight romance, the male main character is not human. So it's an alien.
Oh, that's...
It's a centaur.
Right.
You got orcs, you know. So I haven't read well, no, I have. But like I haven't read for myself, read a romance novel without like an orc or a... Like, I don't know what... My point is that I don't know what human sex is. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
So is, like, if you're reading one of these books, is it like, you know, it's the romance novel cover, but there's like a minotaur doing the embrace or something like that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
wild.
And it's like...
Wait, there's really is an orc one?
Oh, there's a bunch of orc ones. And it's really like... It's really... And I mean this in a great way. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Because, like... The way these authors work, it's very fascinating. But speaking of cum, orc cum is very delicious. It can feed you in this world. And there's like a few books.
This is a convention, like kind of the genre.
I've read 2 books so far where it was a convention that the jizz of mystical beings is helpful along the lines of like breast milk or whatever.
Wow, the giver of life.
Yes. So there is a good series I just started. It's like called like Morning Glory Milking Farm. And I never rooted for 2 people to get together in my life. But anyway, it's like a very like sweet romance. And it's like a centaur, like in this world, centaur jizz is like very potent, very powerful, and pharmaceutical companies need centaur jizz to like make pills to like cure all the diseases.
Got it. This is like it's like the whale serum from Talcum syndrome serum, not syndrome, from Way of Water.
Yeah, yeah. So in
those books, it should be like the Doughboys enter and say, "Get out of my way, lady!" And we take the serum. I think that would be fun. And also, I looked at some of these orc novels. Yeah. They're written by my exes. They're all written by my exes.
I think they're like semi-autobiographical.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, you all wrote about dating an orc after you dated me?
Because they probably feel bad because the orcs are the heroes in these books.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So okay, so like this is a centaur farm. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this world, the main character, the female, she gets this job working at, like, she wants to go into medicine or whatever. So she gets a job working at this like factory where her job is to just jerk off minotaurs all day.
That's insane.
It's so good.
For people not watching the live feed, Wiger he just pulled up his resume. He's updating
it. So it becomes like she's like jerking. So there's like a regular. There's like this factory or whatever. They have like they're regulars. There's these minotaurs who come in and they're like, I'm donating, getting some money or whatever. She falls in love with like one of her regulars, but she meets him like by jerking him off, and they just like gallons and gallons of really beneficial animal or mythical creature. They nut. Right. And it's the cutest love story I've ever read. Like it was like I don't know, I can't even describe it, but it was like a very cute love story, but like she just happens to be like jerking him off the whole time, and he's like jizzing everywhere. But it's also like there's a meet cute, and they like talk about their lives.
For our audio listeners, just the vigor with which Becky is acting out the jerk off mannerism, and also proportionally correct, I think, to a centaur.
I mean, it was really well, right? It was good writing. Because, first in this world, like, they do have machines, but eventually it's like sometimes you just need a personal touch.
Yeah,
and
right,
so then the
right.
woman comes in, and I mean, again, like, they talk about girth, ball, like it's just, but like at the same time they're like, oh yeah, I grew up in like a small town and da-da-da. I grew up in a small town too. You know what I mean? Like, and it's.
So it sounds, because it's kind of like, hey, this is supposed to be like a clinical procedure, but it is like inherently sexual, and so we can't help kind of developing feelings for each other.
Exactly.
Like
and someone is a centaur or a minotaur or, not human, and they just. It's like fluid kink. Like people are like really into just people, like male organisms just jizzing a lot and the jizz being delicious.
Look, if you found out that like centaur nut like cured ailments, I'd fucking be taking it down, wouldn't you?
I'd be jerking centaurs off right now.
I mean. That to me, that's the funnier thing. It's like your 9 to 5 is like clock in and someone jacks you off. It seems like more awkward, I guess.
Put on the hard hat, grab your lunch pail. Time to get jacked off.
It's so fascinating because it's like, how did this world discover that minotaur jizz? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I want the
right.
backstory. Like, I just want to be in this world.
I kind of want to be in that world too, honestly. Just for the benefits of the minotaur jizz.
Yeah. It's nice to have a cure-all.
Yeah.
That's organic.
Yeah.
Comes from nature.
So is that the only one where the nut is good, or is there other nuts that are
in those orc ones that I'm pretty sure that you Googled, the first ones that probably came up, the most popular ones?
Well, that's what's scary, because I put orc romance, and then Google was like novels and books, and I was like, oh, so this is a real thing.
So like I'm imagine that one of the first authors that came up was Finley Fenn, who writes like the orc. Like my favorite book is the Librarian and the Orc. Really beautiful. Love story.
Finley Fenn is the first person who came up. The Lady and the Orc.
I'm gonna say 97% of that book is just this orc jizzing.
Wow.
And there's a scene where like, and I don't know why I thought it was so sexy, but like he like jizz, like she has to go on a journey or whatever, and her orc boyfriend jizzes in a bottle for her to like take along the road, and I'm like, that's really romantic, and I would never think that ever in the real world. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? Yeah.
Okay, so this is insane. Orc Guardian Brides, book 3, fated to the orc. Fated to the orc. Look at this orc hunk on the cover.
Yeah, he's very, 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 very handsome.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine that's just like a real model they just orked up in Photoshop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you probably have it in...
I don't think that's a real orc. There's no way.
I mean, could be.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's... first off, What? What is it?
Okay. The Lady and the Orc, the first book that comes up. The Orc Prince trilogy. Like I said, Orc Guardian Brides, book 3, fated to the orc. I was like, what's this next orc gonna be? What's this next orc book gonna be? The next book is This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib.
So that's not an orc romance.
It's not an orc romance. It's the fourth. It's the fourth book that comes up. And it's a guy with his hands on his head.
Right.
This hoe got roaches in her crib. What is it? An urban
urban romance or whatever.
I think it is an urban romance.
So basically, the premise there is that the person you're dating is not cleanly.
An urban satire.
Oh, okay.
It's on paperback, $15.29.
That's too much. Yeah. Okay.
Here's my question.
Should I read the description? This is the back of the book.
Okay, sure.
Do you not care about?
No, I'm interested in all this.
Okay. Austin Watkins, 35, and a single father, finds himself in a precarious situation. Currently locked up in Chicago's Cook County Jail, he knows that Fredquisha, the trifling mother of his only daughter, is a despicable, careless, and reckless thought who is the antithesis of caring, loving black motherhood. Wanting to see her son gain full redemption from his current situation. This is so long, by the way, but I'm going for it. Dolores Watkins, better known as Miss Watkins, is also hellbent on rescuing Austin's 6-year-old daughter. Oh my God, what the fuck?
Mitch, I think you should narrate this audiobook.
There's no mention of roaches yet.
Yeah.
Maya, from the clutches of relentless psychological, emotional, and physical. Oh my God, this is now making me sad. But it's just a funny title. The title was funny.
It's a funny title.
Yeah, that happens a lot with.
None of this is fun.
Right.
None of it is fun.
But you got hooked from the title, which was the whole point.
And that's all. I think that's all the author wants. Because there's people who will like write these books and have like a crazy title, crazy premise, but like just to get people to buy it. Like they don't care about like.
That's the biggest example of that, and obviously he's like kind of doing satire, but it's like Chuck Tingle.
Yeah.
This is insane. Fredquisha Pierce, a native of dangerous Englewood, Chicago, could give two shits about the welfare of her daughter. Her mission in life is simple: get money, smoke good weed, and ride bomb dick. Nothing more, nothing less. After meeting a potential new bae, Fredquisha needs to make some lifestyle changes so she can upgrade her Section 8 squalor living situation. There's no mention of cockroaches in the damn description of the fucking book.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was gonna be fun for us, and it wasn't fun.
I mean, I'm glad we went down this rabbit hole.
I'm glad I know it exists. Like, I'm really glad that person finished. Like, I think it's really hard to finish a book. You know, writing a book, putting it up. Like,
I've never done it.
Me neither.
It's all like very, from the title, I thought it would be fun. It's all very serious stuff. Is that what you find with the orc stuff? Is it like very serious outside of the premise that it is an orc or a minotaur getting jacked off?
Not with like orc stuff, but like there are like I just read one where actually it was a human romance book, but
Are you done with those?
No, I'm not done with them. I still read them. But I read an MLM like a multi-level pyramid scheme kind of like attempting to be like Chuck Tingle kind of thing. And again, like the premise was really good, but we read the book and I was like, oh, this person phoned it in. I wanted to read like people committing fraud and like fucking hard, and I didn't get any of those.
So there's got to be
when an orc has a baby with a human, is that an urkai or is that with an elf?
No, that's like a different thing. That's specifically the Lord of the Rings canon, but there are half orcs that just exist in like, D&D.
Yeah.
But that's not but urkai are not half orcs.
I thought they were
they were corrupted, like I think orcs elves? Fundamentally, I believe in the Tolkien canon, orcs fundamentally are corrupted elves. But urkai are like their own thing.
There's also this one, Harriet Porber and the bad boy I can't even say this.
Is that a
this looks like some sort of dino man.
Oh yeah, so there is dinosaur erotica.
Yeah. But these are like humanoid dinosaurs.
No, I've read.
Not always.
Was curious, and read some like full on human on dinosaur erotica, because I think the thing is that like when you upload to like Amazon, you can't upload bestiality. Like that's against the rules. So I think there are people who are like, how close can we take it?
Oh, this is like the step thing in porn.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
There is like I'm fucking my stepmom, wink,
Exactly.
We know what you really want, but
isn't that like most porn now is just like
there's a lot of incest in porn. I mean, it's clearly like a pretty big fetish.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say most, but there's a lot of it.
I'm shocked by how many. I was just looking through how many orc novels there are. It is insane.
So popular. It's so popular. It is fascinating. And it's like, normal everyday people like me reading them.
I wonder why all the Doughboys listeners have beautiful wives. They're all into this fucking orc bullshit.
I do want to. We could talk about this all day, and maybe we'll get back to it. But I do want to talk about something relevant to this podcast. Last time you were on the main feed, we were reviewing Nothing Bundt Cakes, Then you came on Doughboys Double, and you told a story that was related to Nothing Bundt Cakes, and I'd like you to retell that story for our main video audience.
Yes. So we review Nothing Bundt Cakes, and so my brother and sister-in-law like had a wedding like party because they got married during the pandemic in Palm Springs, you know, where my parents live. My parents
Are these the vacuum gifters?
These are the vacuum gifters. My parents had like a night before like dinner for everyone, and they got catering, and the caterers for dessert had the Buntinis from Nothing Bundt Cakes. And first, because the tiniest ones.
Yeah.
And first I was excited because I was like, wow, this caterer does its research. Like, it knows that the groom's little sister was on Doughboys, and I was so excited. But then like I ate it, and I was like, because we were talking about the frosting to cake ratio, and it was so much better. And I was like, should I text Mitch and Nick and like tell them, like, it's a Friday night, I should be like with my family, but like, do I just leave and just like text them and be like, just so you know, the Buntinis are so much better.
It's a Friday night. You're for sure. Nick and I are just sitting there not doing anything.
100% wish you tested us for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, so I feel like if we were ever to go again, the small ones. I think go for the small ones.
Let me tell you what would have happened if you text us. Within 30 seconds, both of us would have hearted the message and said, "Wow." Yeah. That's what would have happened.
But this is the thing, and this is what I find fascinating about it. It's like Nothing Bundt Cake, not the like most prominent of the chains that we've covered in the course of the podcast. And then for you, the guest on the episode, to random stumble upon it at an event.
It was wild. I was shocked. Like, well, I mean, it was a coincidence. Again, I thought that they were like, oh, Josh's sister, Becky Feldman.
I gotta write a romance novel about a man in a vacuum. It's like sentient or something. Yeah.
Listen.
I got Roombas. I got two Roombas. I got one upstairs and one downstairs, which people were gonna.
You wild man.
And Roombas are, they're okay. I feel like they're early robots.
They're in a sense, they're the appliance that almost creates as much work as they save for you. I feel like that happens a lot of times, and because you got to maintain them, whatever. They'll get stuck in something. And I don't necessarily even mind. I have a Roomba. I got one at Costco, but I don't even mind the task of just vacuuming all that much.
Let me tell you though, when you got little kitties, and they're taking their shits and they're taking their pisses, and God knows what else that they're doing in there. You need the constant vacuum. You need it. You need it to be going.
Is the humanoid and demi-human? What exactly is like human and like demi-human relationship? Is that always like
you saying
male?
Humanoid over and over again is terrifying.
How you characterize them, however, like meta-human is like the meta-human. Is that usually male and the human is usually female? Is that usually how it works?
That's the ones that I've read. I'm sure there's some out there that are there's more diversity there,
right.
But the ones that I read are human woman.
But there could be like a human man and like a cat lady, for instance.
There could be, yeah. I'm sure that exists. Yeah. Am I interested in it? Not as much.
Like the furry stuff doesn't work for you as much as like a big burly orc. Is that kind of what it is?
Or is the perspective that it's like a human lady is that you can relate to that?
Yeah, sure.
It was like that.
I guess what I really like about these books is that these if they're aliens or they're like minotaurs or orcs or whatever, they live in their own kind of world and they don't know the world that we live in. Yeah. So when they encounter these women and they're really good listeners and and they'll say something really sexy along the lines of I don't understand. We mean in your society the men make all the rules and you're just like I love orcs.
These fucking beta orcs, dude.
They're all beta. That's the thing. It's everyone thinks they're monsters, but really we're the monsters. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets.
This coming NFL playoffs weekend, you've got the Baltimore Ravens, -9 versus the Houston Texans. The San Francisco 49ers, -9.5 versus the Green Bay Packers. The Detroit Lions, -6 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Buffalo Bills, -3 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow.
It's going to be a fun weekend, Wags.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Doughboys. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Doughboys. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Let's talk about Nick the Greek. Nick the Greek was founded in Northern California in 2014 by 3 cousins named Nick. Baby Nick, Big Nick, and Little Nick.
This is very Donkey Kong-esque.
Mitch, you never listen to my intros, but that has been touched on.
Wow.
In 2022, the company was acquired by Yadav Enterprises, which is a major franchisee of Jack in the Box and TGI Fridays. So like from 8 years, they go from like these 3 cousins founding a restaurant in Northern California in the Bay Area to now, part of the Jack in the Box TGI Fridays franchising family. And they currently have around 80 locations.
I don't know if I think of like quality for this.
Mitch, I agree with those corporate partners. They're not ones who are known for the quality of food. There are currently around 80 locations in California, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Kansas, Utah, and Missouri. Before we get into the specific chain, Mitch, I know you're something of a Greek freak. You love Greek food.
I'm a Greek freak, yeah.
Big Mediterranean.
I'm not Greek myself, but I love Mediterranean.
You love Mediterranean food. Becky, where do you stand on Greek food or Mediterranean food?
I love Mediterranean food. Yeah, I love it. It's delicious.
It's also that sort of thing of like, as a person who eats a lot of takeout, it is like the one that you're like, oh, if I get like a salmon kebab.
Yeah.
And like some Greek salad or something. That's a healthy dinner, you know what I mean?
100%.
We get carbs and like, I don't know. Like there's some sauces that aren't good, of course, especially at this place that we went. If you're like pouring on like, whatever, garlic sauce and some of the other stuff. I know that that's not good for you, but for the most Mediterranean diets, it's been lauded for decades, right? At this point. The Mediterranean diet?
Yeah, my doctor says I should do it.
Is that true?
Yeah, she always, every year, she always like, are you doing the Mediterranean diet? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Zanku after. You know what I mean?
Which is a funny thing here. I mean, especially at Nick the Greek's, it's like fries come in like every sandwich.
Right.
So it's not, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is not, you can do a healthy-ish Mediterranean meal here, and I tried that with one of my visits, but that's not like the focus of this place. So I went twice. I did get for dinner last night. I picked up from the Marina Del Rey location. Ordered it on the app. The app is kind of crap, but you can tip, which is nice. And going to the restaurant, it feels like a new chain. It's got a snazzy interior, fun branding. There's a little Greek guy with a mustache that's everywhere. It's a fun little mascot. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Nick the Greek himself, but
I would guess yes, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But which Nick? There's 3 Nicks.
Well, this is the thing. They're all named after their grandpa, Nick.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so that's the Nick. Got it. Okay, that's sweet. Yeah.
But what I got last night was a gyro plate, which is the, it's instead of the pita, I just got the plate with the chicken gyro meat and I subbed the Greek salad. I will say that I'll talk about the food in a second, but I will say that I love that the packaging is in cardboard. It's not super wasteful. A lot of times from one of these places, it feels like you're just getting so much like single-use plastic, and I like that that's not the case. I think that's to its credit. But let's get into what we had today.
Well, I put my order in around 2:30 last night, and I see your order.
Yeah.
And Emma, by the way, the only person who reacted to this because the Night Owls of the Doughboys team. You ordered fucking feta fries? Is that what it was?
My order. So here's my original order.
Okay.
Chicken souvlaki pita. So I want to get a different chicken meat versus the chicken gyro I got previously. Greek fries and I may be mispronouncing this, Lucamides. So I asked for those 3 options. Now there's
something on the menu called Nick's Fries.
There's a separate menu item called Nick's Fries, which I opted not to get, and you were incensed that I did not order.
How do you
the
know
Nick's
his
Fries.
name's Nick?
My name is Nick.
I assumed you were gonna get it. To be honest, like I walked in because it's interesting because they offer a protein on those fries,
right?
And I was like, oh, okay, Nick will definitely get the Nick Fries.
Wow.
I mean, that's what I thought too. When we were discussing what to do for the restaurant, you said about how about Nick the Greeks? My name's Nick. That was your response to it. So then you don't get the Nick Fries?
I think when I was looking at the fries, I was like, well, I don't need extra protein on my fries.
But, and I think you made a good move.
Yeah.
You went falafel.
I did throw falafel on there.
And I think that was, and you know what? I got to give him credit. A lot of the times falafel very dry guy.
Yeah.
I thought this one was kind of nice and had some moistness to it in a good way.
I have kind of a two-part question here. One, is this an existing joke? And if it's not, is this like a good joke that I should say?
Well, all right, let's hear it.
Wait, what are falafel exactly?
It's like chickpea, isn't it?
Chickpeas.
Okay, yeah. Like, I had too much of those Greek chickpea fritters. I fall awful. I ate way too many Greek chickpea fritters. I feel awful.
Is using feel awful like falafel new? No.
Okay.
It's from joke books. It's like when like a Greek person first came to America. Feel awful with falafel?
Yeah.
You fool. What the fuck are you talking about?
Should be phrased more of like a question and answer classic joke structure. Does that help it?
I think you should just give up on the joke.
Okay. So it is an existing joke and it's not worth pursuing.
I think it's, I don't, well, how do you feel about this?
My first thought was like, oh, what a fun dad joke. And I didn't realize that but yeah, of course, feel awful would have been the chapter 1 in the Greek toilet humor book that you see.
I'll keep thinking about it. There's something there.
There's something there.
You should try it out. Get up on stage at the Comedy Store, see what happens.
I drank way too much Centaur cum. I fall awful.
Fuck.
Now that I like. That I get.
This is the worst set ever done here. Michael Richards did a set there.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we got it.
Okay, all right, sir. I was just making sure.
Let's talk through what everyone got. I got the chicken souvlaki pita. I got the Nick's fries, which is feta, garlic, spicy yogurt, choice of protein, falafel was what I went with, and green onions, and the lucamides, which are Greek beignets with nuts and house-made syrup.
I think that was that looked interesting, Nick. I did 2 pitas, which was a little overkill. Luckily, we'll get into this. We had some backup.
Yes.
Susser came over
Susser
uninvited. Which he's done plenty of times before. He did text, maybe I'll join too. He wrote that. And you can never tell if he's being serious or not. But he was very much serious. He got himself a free lunch and didn't seem to be happy. I think that's also like anytime he comes after saying he's going to like come, he doesn't, every time he arrives after, you know.
Are you saying, wait.
COME also off the table.
Oh, okay.
We can't say I'm not saying the word. Anytime he arrives.
I'm just realizing I just said Centaur cum like a little bit ago. So I'm done.
I'm done.
I think arrive as ejaculate, though.
I'm going to arrive.
Sexiest thing.
Fuck.
Love your dirty talk.
I love the stable.
You can never tell when Sus is, you can never tell.
You can never tell what's up with him.
You just never know what's going to happen with him.
He's a little mischievous and a little mysterious.
He's a little puck, I guess you could say. Hummus, I got the hummus and pita to share. I got the Greek salad to share. And then I got the beef lamb pita and the chicken gyro.
Yeah.
Pita. I mean, it's a chicken gyro.
Yeah.
I never had Nick the Greeks,
we may be getting into a taxonomical thing here because I think there's like the gyros is the meat, And
Sure.
and the but sometimes a gyro sandwich is just called a gyro.
Yes.
Like it's just a but they call it a gyro pita.
You can go into a place and order a gyro and get a sandwich, like a sandwich.
It will be a sandwich, yes,
Sure.
but it's as a shorthand for it. But I think if you're being pedantic about it, it's like that just refers to the meat itself.
Everyone says a hot dog a sandwich, is a gyro a sandwich. If you ordered a sandwich and you got a gyro, you wouldn't be happy, right? That to me is wouldn't be happy, but you'd be surprised.
If someone's like, "Hey, I'm getting sandwiches. You want one?"
And then they bring you back a gyro.
You'd be a little bit like you might not be upset, but you'd be a little bit. This wasn't what I expected.
That to me is that's the qualifier.
That's the question. Okay,
it's like it's a gyro, then it's a gyro. But yes, a chicken gyro to me means it's wrapped. It's a pita sandwich, and I've never had this place before. I think that it was. Isn't there a local LA place that's Nick? Or like a Papa Cristo's?
There's Papa Cristo's, yeah. That's kind of a local institution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's like a single location.
Okay, yeah.
And that's a fun restaurant.
That's the one. I've always wanted to go to Papa Cristo's.
I bet it's fun.
Nick the Greek, I didn't know too much. And then also I was like, do I know Nick the Greek? This is a place that I've heard of before. Then also we brought up Jimmy the Greek. And I'm like, am I just thinking of Jimmy the Greek?
You might have been. Jimmy the Greek was, for people who don't know, for our younger audiences, he was a guy who was a fixture of sports television in like the 80s. And maybe into early 90s, but he was like one of the original, like, there's so much gambling content in sports television now and sports media now, but he was like one of the original people who was like talking about betting on football games.
Which you told me, and then he was also a problematic dude.
Got super canceled.
Yeah. Which I didn't really know anything about Jimmy the Greek. I just always knew it as like a joke. Like, talk to Jimmy, you know what I mean? Like,
he was like parodied on The Simpsons.
Yeah,
like that's the Lisa sports gambling episodes, a bunch of Jimmy the Greek characters.
So I didn't know exactly what I was expecting here. I like Mediterranean food, I like Greek food, but I didn't know whether it was that weird thing where it was like, do I have reverence for this place, or am I supposed to like this place? I have no idea. I was kind of confused by it, and then. Look, it traveled quite a bit, but we'll get into our thoughts about it. I thought that lamb and beef gyro was pretty tasty. Sus wolfed his down pretty quickly. Do you notice when he wolfed his down and asked for a drink, I think he was choking?
Was he choking?
I'm pretty sure he was choking.
I did not clock that.
I'm going to ask him. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was choking.
It's a polite choker. Like
Because Amelia's like, does anyone need anything? And Sus was like, a drink. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And then I noticed he wasn't really talking. And then he drank the drink. I think he was choking.
That's wild if true.
So
yeah.
He came in to our office here. He wolfed down a pita, choked, drank a drink, and then left, basically.
May have just been a little bit like, kind of like, like your throat's tight or something like that. Not like he was actually asphyxiating.
I think that's what, that's kind of what it was. Yeah.
Becky, what did you get?
I got the lamb beef pita. I ate some of the beignet and some of the pita chips, or like the pita and hummus. I thought it was good. Like I wolfed it down, much like Susser.
Yeah.
And it was still good, but it did get a little soggy towards the end.
Yeah, there was some travel issue too, for sure.
Yeah. But I did enjoy the taste. I thought the taste was good. It was a good chewy pita too.
Is the resolution of these books like an orc human wedding, or is it like? It's not like a Beauty and the Beast thing where you turn human, right? Because that's not the fantasy.
Not the fantasy. You stay your same species.
Got it.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll live in like Orc Mountain, or like sometimes you'll move into like the fantasy town with your.
Got it.
It's like yeah.
Is there any? Do any of them pull the Shrek where the lady becomes an orc or orc-like?
Oh, the reverse Beauty and the Beast.
Did you say Beauty and the Beast just then? Yeah. Sorry.
What were you doing?
I texted Sus asking if he was choking.
Okay.
When Amelia got you a drink, were you kind of choking? That's what I've asked him. And we'll see what he responds.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there any of the Shrek where the lady becomes orc-like?
No, everyone remains like who they are, and it's like a really good message.
Right.
You don't need to change.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun though.
Yeah. I think okay. I thought my pita. Here's the first thing.
I have a question too. Does miniature breast milk or does orc breast milk do anything too?
I don't think there are females in those species. That's why they mate with human females to like, because,
They're like mules. They're all male.
Yeah, because like some of them are in societies where they're like, well, what are we going to do? We can't procreate. We lost all the female or
all
whatever.
The women are gone.
Yeah.
Mules are all males, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. They're all male and they're all sterile.
Wow. Doughboys audience.
Hey, mules.
Okay, so you touched on, Mitch, that Greek food is a thing that can sometimes be a little bit healthier.
All right, I got a response.
Okay.
No, I think I was talking with my mouth full, though. That's the response.
In character.
I think he was fucking joking.
The meal I got today was decidedly not healthy at all. Like, that pita comes with fries inside and a mustard sauce that is really like, that's fucking heavily sauced.
Yes.
It's like really, really a goopy sandwich, a very wet meal. But it does not, it seems quite caloric. I would not be, surprised if this was a 1,500 calorie pita. It was flavorful, and I will say, contrasting the two meats versus the gyro I got last night, I do think the souvlaki was a little bit more flavorful and substantive than the chicken gyro. But this was definitely an indulgence. Mitch, it reminded me of Halal Guys, which we reviewed on the podcast, years ago now. Emma was saying that was maybe the first episode she worked on. Is that possible?
I think it was one of the first in-person records at Mitch's house that I was a part of.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
That long ago.
At least it was one of the first meals I remember eating with you guys at Palmerston.
It was like
sucks.
What?
So long. I mean, just so long.
Oh, just the time moves so quickly? Yeah, I know. It sucks. What are you going to do? But it reminded me of Halal Guys in the sense that Halal Guys is not healthy. Like, that sauce that they have there is just so saucy, so caloric, and this is the same sort of experience eating this.
You can get some healthy, like Sidewalk Grill, which we've had Wags together. You can get a lot of good.
Sure, even a place in it.
Zanku, if you do the right things, you can have a pretty healthy meal.
When even talking about like a bigger chain, like a Delphi, I actually don't know how to say it, but I think we also reviewed that on the podcast. But that's another place that has some lighter, Mediterranean options. So those places exist. This place is not trying to do that. At least it isn't trying to do that with the bulk of its menu. Same thing with the Nick's fries, which just so much of that spicy yogurt and just fucking Peter North all over it, just with a falafel on top. It's just so much sauce.
It's a lot of sauce.
And I thought these were good, but
Peter North ejaculate. I'm just trying not to say the word still.
Yeah.
It's way too almost to an unappetizing. It like kind of looked unappetizing.
I thought it was pretty flavorful, but it was so
the flavors
heavy.
were good. I'm just saying it
so heavy.
It looked unappetizing. Like,
I agree.
Especially traveling with that much sauce on top of the fries, it like almost was just like kind of gelling up, curdling up, I guess.
But that's also, that's the case. I think chili cheese fries are like that too. Chili cheese fries are not an appetizing thing to look at. I think they oftentimes look kind of gross, but I love how they taste. I thought these were good. They're just again so fucking heavy. I guess you could have this as a meal if you wanted to have a real bad day. But it's just like as a thing to share. I'm like, man, I don't know why I would need this over the regular fries or like some rice, honestly.
Yeah, it's that sort of. I'm not a guy who gets animal fries at In-N-Out either. It's fun to try them. You know what I mean? But I'm not a. You're actually the only one who's kind of a chili cheese fry guy.
Oh yeah,
and to me that's like wow, Becky, this is a little bit. This is kind of frustrating for us, and maybe it's because you read so many of these romance novels and
right.
Other creatures immediately.
Yeah, like, you're an ally of different species. I appreciate
like
that.
Snow White.
But Jemmy, Emma's dog has come over to you.
And so quickly licking your hand. To Nick and I, kind of just stares at us.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay, she's giving a little bit of a sniff now.
Didn't
she's
lick,
learning.
though.
No. Yeah.
So she likes you way better than she likes us.
Yeah, she likes Becky.
Aww.
Which is understandable.
Okay, yeah. We have the same taste in books. And mates. We have the same taste in
So and I'll state my thoughts on the dessert. But Becky, like, what was your reaction to your meal?
I did enjoy it. I found it tasty. I really did eat it fast because I was hungry. I wish I should have eaten it slower.
Not saucer fast, I'll tell you that much.
I feel like there are times where, like, you know how sometimes when you eat like cured meat or whatever, it's like, oh, this is all salt. I felt like the meat got a little salty sometimes.
It was a little salty. I agree with that.
And we were talking about the onion situation. Yeah. There was a lot of raw red onions in there, which I wasn't not expecting, but you know, it gave me like an aftertaste of a burger.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
So much red onion. Yeah. I would say that this is the weird thing about my plate is that, you know, I get the Greek salad instead of the fries or rice. But the Greek salad came in its own container. This is what I got last night. Then there was another container with chicken with the chicken gyro meat, and then everything else in it was just like there was a little bit of pita, and they do like a fried pita there, so it's a little bit heavier. But it was like the fried pita, and then just a whole shitload of tomatoes and red onions, like so many red onions and tomatoes. And that's the same thing with that pita. It was like just loaded with red onions to the point where it's just like, oh, my breath is gonna stink all day. So know what you're getting into. In fact, Emma, that's why you didn't get anything from here.
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling the onion flavor in my mouth for the rest of the day.
Right.
I was telling Amelia sometimes I'm okay with it, but today when she texted me this morning, I was like, that's just not my vibe for today. Onions, isn't it?
Which is funny because Nick and I didn't even seem to worry about that at all.
Who am I trying to impress? What do I care? But it is a commitment.
It is a commitment. I love onion. I mean, like, I love onion and garlic, two stinky things that stay with you for most of the day. It is very oniony. I maybe could pull back the onion a little bit, but my other issue with the pita is, and I know that this is a travel issue, kind of weak fries. The fries themselves, right? I mean, come on, are the fries that good?
I don't know.
They're seasoned okay. I'm not saying they don't taste bad. They're just like a little thin, and I guess in a sandwich you don't want really thick fries. I wasn't blown away from the.
I don't know if we need them in the pita. Like, I don't think they added much texturally. But you know, this is a thing where I think getting it to go, you lose a little bit of
How was it
luster.
when you had it in person?
Well, I didn't get fries for that meal, so I probably should have.
Yeah, it seems like you fucked up. I mean, you didn't fuck up. You went to the restaurant twice. Yeah. So you're just kind of like a fucking big fat ass. But I like what it's that sort of thing of like, it just is kind of mushy in there. I don't. If you're gonna add fries to something, it's got to be good, and I guess it is. Again, the travel is an issue for sure, but I don't know. It wasn't really doing the job for me.
There's an argument that in this era of like so much, pandemic into post-pandemic, like takeout is way up, delivery is way up. People are being accustomed to like eating meals that are prepared outside of the house, but in their own homes. And there's maybe an argument to taking that into consideration in your concept that these things may have been picked up by someone driving for DoorDash who's going to drop it off to someone else 20 minutes later, and maybe that should be accounted for. Because it certainly did not, to your point, the fries did not translate well to that experience.
Yeah.
But also, I just think there's maybe an argument to just like, do we even need them in the pita? That said, I think the meat was pretty good, and I think this was like a fun indulgence if you want like a heavy Greek sandwich.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think the food is that bad. You know what I mean? I leave this place not knowing, like the pita and hummus wasn't great. You know, like the hummus wasn't like particularly good, but it also wasn't bad. The Greek salad I thought was like, it was done like in the way of like an like a classic Greek salad.
Yeah, there wasn't like romaine in there or anything like that. It was like a bunch of like diced cucumbers and tomatoes.
Which is a type of Greek salad I don't love, but they did have a nice big whopping square of feta on there. And it was kind of fun and the taste of it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I kind of leave this experience still kind of confused about this place a little bit.
I'm not confused about it. I think I get what they're going for.
Yeah. I think if this is a place that was near near where I lived, I probably would get it more off. I would order it more.
100%. I think this place is like, hey, this is a quick to go Greek meal that you can have as a work lunch, or you can have as a as a quick bite at night. I think that's what they're going for. Let's talk about the desserts a little bit, because I thought the beignets were pretty flavorful. Like,
the beignets were good.
Those were a treat.
They were good.
Yeah.
I actually thought both the desserts were pretty good.
You got the baklava?
I tried I didn't get it. We got it because we got Nick points or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Which is kind of like Jimmy the Greek in a way, I guess. You get there's a point system or something where you get a free dessert. I'm asking, like, this is new. Every restaurant in the world does this. I'm
thinking we should institute Nick points on the Doughboys Patreon.
So you
accumulate Nick points and cash them in.
What would we give them?
Feet pics.
The feet pic thing went from I was like, does Nick like this? Because where my brain went. You included it just recently in something, like Amelia was like, ooh, Tootsie photo. Like, she said something about your Tootsies or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? Is he uploading fucking feet pics?
Well, I had we have a shared photo.
You got a fresh pedicure. You gotta show it off.
Just tossed it in there with my...
I was like, can you upload the pictures of the food? And then there were toes.
What if from here on out, when I upload my Doughboys food pictures, it's just me shirtless too? How the fuck do you think that would be? That's weird, right?
Is that on the same level?
Probably close.
All right, we'll start doing it. We'll see.
What's grosser to look at, a foot or me with my shirt off flexing? Probably pretty equally gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, save up your Nick points. Get some feet pics. I'll send some along too. Yeah, I thought the baklava, which we got for which they tossed in for points.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty good too. I want to eat at this restaurant again, and I'm not saying that it needs a do-over.
Sure,
but it is kind of one of these ones where I'm like, it's the first time I'm eating it. I didn't know really what to expect going into it. I knew it was Mediterranean, but like, I want to try it a couple more times before I
feel the same way.
Yeah.
I wish that I would have gotten my sauce on the side.
That honestly is a good mod.
Yeah.
Good thing to know for a future order of this place. Get
That's
your sauce on the
Amelia
side.
did do that.
Yeah, that was
her
smart.
sandwich.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it, and it really soaks in there. Is there? And I apologize if this question is too explicit. Do they ever talk about like the centaur? Like jizz is like it's you talk about its volume and it's like medical potency, but do they ever talk about like how it's like, like its temperature or its texture, its flavor or anything like that?
I think they do. I think what they jerk off into is like put into like a refrigerator. I think it's like a milkshake consistency. Like when it comes out, this is what I imagined as I was reading. As I was reading.
I hated his question, and then I'm horrified that you have so many answers.
It's like soft serve thick.
I can't tell you how often I think about orc and minotaur jizz, like on a regular basis. I think they put it in a freezer afterwards. But I think it's like probably, I assume it's body temperature.
Oh,
Wait,
sure.
So
Yeah.
if you were drinking like a milkshake, you're like, this is like the texture of minotaur jizz.
Yeah, like I legit can't drink vanilla milkshakes anymore because like I think like this is what orc jizz must taste like.
I like the idea of it being like 200 degrees. Very hot.
Yeah, right.
Would be cool.
Yeah.
So wait, what you wanted to know quantity too? Is that right? Do you know quantity?
Well, it sounds I think you communicated that already. It seems like it's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's like an astounding
You got any more details
amount.
on that? Like how much is like a lot? Like,
It's like vats and vats. Like I'm like, well, what I was picturing, I could have been wrong because like again, I'm reading, so I just like pictured, like gallon containers, like three gallon containers of orc jizz in one session.
Wow.
Yeah, they got a lot in there. Their balls are big.
I mean, they are half horse, right? Like that is, and yeah, horses, as we know, they got hangers.
That's true.
Horses got hangers.
They do.
I can't believe this is an episode. This is the episode where we made the no cum pledge. Like you led with that.
I'm just excited to talk about like Minotaur and orc jizz and like not to my therapist. Can finally like have like a real conversation about it and not
so
like.
It is like a minotaur. Is it a bull? Is it a horse or a bull? I forget what it is.
Minotaurs are bulls, centaurs are a horse, right?
Okay.
Because the Minotaur has the bull like head, and then the centaur has the like human torso and head, and the horse body.
Okay, so I'm thinking of Minotaur then.
Got
okay,
it.
yeah.
Wait, Minotaur has the human upper half.
Yeah, human upper half, horse lower half. It's like a mermaid. It's like a horse mermaid.
Is it like a horse dick, basically, or
yeah, you have a horse dick. He's gonna have a human dick?
Well, I guess.
Wouldn't that be
like
weird?
a little pink human dick on a horse body?
That would be so weird. It's like the first night you're having sex with a centaur, and like
you're like, this is why I'm like the perk
here
of
we
the thing.
go. Yeah,
exactly.
all right.
I have questions.
But also, a horse dick is like hairy, right? Doesn't have hair on it.
Is it like a dog's thing where it's like kind of like sheathed and emerges? Is that
and
the
Jackass
situation?
movies? When I saw the horse dick, like a lot of it looked like it had horse hair on it.
Then I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on there.
Interesting. Yeah. Are donkeys horses? Because like I saw a donkey boner one time and like it, like came out and like went back in like.
So that does sound dog-like.
Yeah.
But you saw what was the context for seeing a donkey boner?
I was in Versailles. We were like walking the grounds of Versailles, and I think there's like I don't know, there was like not a petting, but like farmland, and my friends and I we were in college, and like we like went up to just like look around, and there was a donkey like we were just mesmerized by his boner because it was like out and then in, you know what I mean?
Wow,
yeah. I will never forget that donkey. But like it just like emerged, and I don't think there was fur on it or hair.
Right, yeah.
It like came. It was like this like black thing that was like.
So maybe there's like it's like protected unless it needs to come out for fertilization.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
We'll do a double on this. We'll
do a
figure
double
it
on
out.
this. We'll figure it out. Yeah, but donkeys I think are a different species
They are
from
different.
horse.
Okay, got it.
And I believe that a mule is a horse donkey hybrid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, now it makes sense. Got it.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Spoon Man.
And the Burger Boy.
And guess what? Lucy is upping the nicotine pouch game with breakers. Pouches packing a little something extra inside.
What are Lucy breakers? If you know your pouches, you know that the nicotine doesn't hit immediately, and neither does the flavor. The geniuses at Lucy came up with a brilliant way to fix both those problems. They put a mini liquid capsule inside each breaker's pouch.
Here's what you do. Grab a breaker's pouch and break the capsule. Yes, with your teeth. It makes a really satisfying pop.
Pop.
Put it in your lips and enjoy the immediate nicotine and flavor release.
Pop. Nobody is doing anything like this except for Lucy. It's a new kind of pouch technology, and it's only available from Lucy.
No more sandpaper pouches drying out your mouth. No more weak flavors that don't last. Breakers are different. Breakers are 4 or 8 milligrams of tobacco-free, 100% pure nicotine.
There are 6 delicious flavors, unique ones like apple ice or espresso, and classics like mint or mango.
You know what, Wags? My good friend Ramondi is using breakers.
Wow.
And he loves that apple ice flavor. And you know what? He loves them way more than using regular nicotine pouches. That's for sure.
Wow. What's up, Ramondi? Well, break up with your dusty gas station pouches and go to lucy.co/doughboys and use promo code doughboys to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers free shipping and has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co and use code doughboys to get 20% off and always free shipping.
And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Pop.
Should we wrap up our thoughts on Nick the Greeks now that we've discussed the donkey dick?
Yeah, let's get to our fork scores for Nick the Greek. So Becky, you've done the podcast before, but just a refresher, we will each go around, give a closing argument, if you will, a summation of our thoughts on this chain, and then end that by giving it a score from 0 to 5 forks. Do you remember offhand what you gave Nothing Bundt Cakes? I can look it up.
Oh my! I probably gave it a 3 or maybe because I enjoyed cake.
I'm gonna look it up while you and Mitch are giving your thoughts. But you're a guest. We'll begin with you. Your thoughts, your fork score for Nick the Greek.
I feel like I was disappointed about the sogginess of the sandwich. It was good, of the gyro. Can I give it a 2.5? That's the worst score I've ever given anything ever.
Wow.
And I'm
No,
like,
of
I
course
don't
you
know.
can.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to be messy. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting my hands to be full of jit. No. It was just like it was very jizzy. And no, it was
It's so funny that you saw a donkey boner in Versailles.
It was I don't remember anything else of that beautiful architectural dream, except just all like the three of us just mesmerized by like are you staring at the boner? Are you staring at I'm staring at the boner?
Oh man, I think
2.5 forks.
Yeah,
I think that's an okay score. I'm going higher, but look. Would Jimmy the Greek bet on Nick the Greek, Swags? I guess that's a question you could ask.
It's Jimmy the Greek's lock of the week.
Is it Nick the Greek? Is it? I mean,
I think that's the kind of thing you would say. I don't remember if it said lock of the week.
But I think that this is a sort of place that you should bet on. I mean, as far as is Halal Guy I know that Halal Guys is Middle Eastern, right? And this is Greek food.
The same, but generally.
Sure, I'm saying
concept,
chicken, shawarma, whatever, gyros or whatever.
And they're clearly, and I brought it up earlier because they are both going for, they have some overlap for dishes, and they're both going for this is an indulgence. This is a treat. This is not like a healthier, lighter option.
Yeah, I mean, as far as big chains that there's not a ton of Greek chains like this, right? There aren't, just that are national.
I mean, I'll talk about that in a second, but I do think we're starting to see more of these.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to revisit the travel, which maybe is just an issue. I mean, some food doesn't travel well at all, and I didn't eat it in house like you did. But the taste factor was like pretty good. It was there, and like there was some stuff that like the desserts that I was like, oh, this is like better than you'd find at like a lot of fast food places. You know, and I would bet that this place could take off. I think I take that pick of the week. I think that it probably will be successful. I just don't know exactly how I feel about it yet. So I'm going to go 3.25 forks for now.
3.25 forks.
Still good. And I thought the tastes were good. It is very oniony. There's some things that I liked about it, some things I didn't like about it. And I want to revisit. That's how I feel.
Our Nothing Bundt Cakes score. Becky went 4 forks.
Oh, okay.
Mitch, you went 3.75 forks, and I also went 4 forks. So it's just on the outside of the Golden Plate Club looking in. We had a pretty good experience in hindsight at Nothing Bundt Cakes.
They were tasty.
Mitch, you were just talking about this, and I do actually think we are in an era of Mediterranean fast casual ascendance. I think we're starting to see more of these chains start to become national, start to expand. I think we're going to see. I think one of these is really going to hit, and in the same way
that
like
it hasn't happened earlier, right?
Yeah.
I guess these are like so often are local places. I mean, like it becoming a fast food chain may be bad for the world in some ways. You know what I mean? Like Emma knows this in Massachusetts. There's so many Greek pizza and Euro shops and, you know, and then everywhere in the North Shore too, especially. But
yeah, certainly in certain cities and certain neighborhoods there, you know, you can get great Greek food in America. You can get great Mediterranean food. You can get it in Los Angeles, a lot of places. I think as far as like the chain version of it, I think this is a good execution. You know, Natalie said this place is very chainy. That was like her first, like, you know, and I think that's absolutely true. And look, this is a chain restaurant podcast. This is what we do. This is the kind of thing we cover. But this is a fucking chain version of this. And I think the you know, the founders are all they all are Greek.
Nick.
What did you say?
They're all named Nick.
They're all named Nick, like me. That's my name. But they are Greek. They went to Greece, and that inspired this concept. But I think they're also like, you know, a lot of what they've said about this is that they're not going for authenticity. They're going for accessibility. And so maybe that's what makes this place.
They went to Greece. Is that their connection to Greece?
I mean, I think they're also of Greek heritage.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were like, did these three Nick guys just went to fucking Greece?
They were
Saw
inspired
the musical
by
Greece.
Yeah. They were inspired by a trip to Greece to found the chain. Like they went to Greece. They you know,
they saw the movie
Greece.
They
saw the movie Greece.
Yeah.
Like, let's start calling ourselves Greek guys.
Nick, that was so impassioned, and I feel like I was too negative of a score. Can I change my score?
No, well, I didn't even get my score yet.
Okay.
But I
also, yes, you
but also
can
you
change
can.
your score.
Oh, okay, good. I just was very moved by that speech you just gave about like, it is a chain restaurant, and I should have remembered that.
No, I think your score is fair. I think, and honestly, we're going to be ballpark buds because I'm in the same neighborhood as your score. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think the high man here is Susser, who texted me his fork score 3.5 forks.
I saw that. He didn't want us to see it because he didn't want us to be influenced by his score.
He said he thought it was
I would never care what he said.
You think it would have been 4 forks if he hadn't choked? Too hard to chew.
Yeah.
Docked at a half fork.
Yeah, choking hazard. What? It was your fault. You ate the sandwich very quick.
It was very chokeable.
Shouldn't have worn this shirt.
Oh my God. It's not. It looks fine.
No, I've been off today. I've been keeping thinking about shirt writing up. I shouldn't have worn this shirt.
Mom, Dad, stop.
I've already ignored him. My mom's texting me.
Anyway, I think this is good quality. I would get this again at lunch. I don't know if I'd be a regular here, but I think basically, bitch, this is to go back to what you were saying. My experience today doesn't really change versus my experience last night because, I had it in different contexts and I had it from different locations and I had different menu items, but I just think this is a 3-fork place. I think this is like a straight down the middle, hey, you know what? This place is trying to do a chain version of Greek dishes and it's fine. This is completely fine. If I worked in an office that was near Nick the Greek and someone was like, hey, we're doing Nick the Greek for lunch today, I'd be like, sure, I could do Nick the Greek. I could find something to eat.
Yeah. What's a bummer is that, well, I'm sure you can do this, but like what that beef and lamb pita, I would much rather have like the chicken gyro. I'd much rather have like the setup of the beef and lamb, which I'm sure you can do.
Do you mean because they have different sauces?
They have different sauces.
One of them has the tzatziki. The tzatziki is with the red meat, and if you get the chicken, you get the mustard sauce.
Yeah. Mustard sauce. I know. It was kind of a weird,
I don't know why they do that mustard
thing.
Sauce.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what that is. That feels a little off. I think it probably would have been better with the tzatziki.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fine.
I mean, it's not bad. The tastes are decent.
Yeah. 3 forks is a good score.
Those little beignets were good. I don't know. Yeah.
We're not being down on this place. We're all average or slightly above average. This was a fine experience, and I wish them all the success. And I hope that the influence of Jack in the Box does not degrade their quality, as you might expect it to. But we'll find out. Hey, you know what, Mitch? That's what happened to fucking Baja Fresh. Baja Fresh got bought by Wendy's, and their quality went down the tubes. So
it's true.
We'll see. All right, that was our review of Nick the Greek. It's time for a segment. I've got to duck out for a second because I got a mystery drink, and Mitch and Becky must use their senses to divine what it is. It's another edition of the Wiger Challenge. I'll be right back with the Wiger Challenge.
All right, Becky, while he's gone.
I hope it's jizz. What?
Hope?
No.
It's Minotaur jizz. I'm like, I feel fucking great.
Yeah. All my diseases cured.
You've talked about Minotaurs. We've talked about, is there any sort of, orcs, Minotaurs, is there anything else that you haven't touched on yet?
Aliens. Yeah, there are aliens.
Is it usually an abduction thing? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
It usually is. Like, there's a really popular series called The Ice Planet Barbarians, and it's about these women who are abducted by evil aliens, but they like fight back on the not airplane, on the spaceship, and they manage to escape, but they crash land on this like planet with a bunch of like blue alien men. And they have like horns and tails, and like their like dicks are in the shape of a popular sex toy. Like, it's just like everything you've ever hoped and dreamed. And they're really good listeners.
Is the popular, I mean, that sounds like a huge part of it. Mm-hmm. Is a popular sex toy like what? Like the rabbit?
Rabbit. Yeah. Like they have like a spur or something. Like, yeah.
I knew about the rabbit.
Yes.
And that's the go-to.
I guess.
I think it's the go-to toy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's very funny that they're anatomically, it's like a vibrator from Earth.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like there's not studded. What is that? You know what I mean? Like ribbed. The rib. You know what I mean? It's like anything you could dream of. Like,
that's very funny. Like I fell to an alien planet. I was like, they have like fleshlights. Like the women all have fleshlights.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what this fantasy is. It's like, okay. Oh, wow, your anatomy is exactly from the pleasure chest that I shop at.
That's so sad that, like, American men are so bad at getting women off that romance novels write things where, like, the aliens have vibrator dicks. Right. Hey, Wags. Well, he's gone again. And so a lot of the times they're abducted, brought to the different and then they crash. So what of all of these genres, are there any other weird ones?
Well, there are alien ones where thank you.
What the hell? The fuck?
Where aliens have like crash land, like or on Earth, and they're doing like an experiment on Earth, and like they're dressing up as humans, but like they have like a hologram thing, and then like the woman discovers like, oh, you're really an alien. Like, yay.
What of all those genres, which is your favorite?
I think right now is aliens for me. Okay. I think it's aliens, although I do think about orcs in just every day of my life.
Do you like science fiction or fantasy more generally? Outside of romance.
Movies, yeah.
You know, right now it used to be science fiction, but now I'm more into fantasy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I got into a fantasy kick like last summer, and it's still there. Yeah.
What Are there any other, besides aliens, orcs, minotaurs, any other weird ones that you can think of before we do this Wiger challenge?
Goblins?
Gargoyles. There are gargoyles.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing something, and like
Frankenstein.
I think there's a Frankenstein. I think
Gargoyles. I mean the Gargoyles cartoon show on Disney. Remember that?
Oh, people were definitely horny for that.
Oh my God, first crush.
Jimmy's looking at me. So, Mitch, you said what the fuck when I handed you the beverages for the Wiger challenge, because this is a 2-barreled Wiger challenge.
Wow.
We've got 2 different beverages, and I will say,
double fisting.
These are the same brand for whatever that these are 2 different varietals of the same brand. Okay. So Becky, how this works is you can use any clues to try to figure out what these are. Whoever comes closest is going to get the victory and will receive a full can of each of these drinks. I should say that Mitch is currently 17, 12, and 4 lifetime in the Wiger challenge.
I do okay on the Wiger challenge.
Shout out to Vinod, who maintains the Doughboys wiki, which I also use to look up our fork scores. 4 ties, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like bullshit. There's a very vanilla-y smell coming off this shorter glass here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a short glass and then there's a jar. And the jars and the short glasses that you each have the same
oh man, that's
line up with each
really
other.
Crazy.
It's Dr. Peppery, right? Am I smelling something?
I think there is a little bit of Oh, I know what it is.
You know what it is?
I believe so.
Okay. Off of what Becky said, or just like off of your own brain?
Now I don't know if I know what this is.
After another sip.
Well, this one is diet.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
This is a diet soda.
You're holding up your right hand, which is the
could
shorter
be
cup.
Dr. Pepper diet strawberry and cream, and this could be regular strawberry and cream. Dr. Pepper. It also could be like a like a Doc Brown's or something. But I think this is strawberry and cream Dr. Pepper.
Becky?
How do you feel?
I definitely think it's I think it's Dr. Pepper. Like, I can just, it has a Dr. Pepper smell. I smell it. Yeah. This I feel like might be like regular Dr. Pepper. And then this is the diet vanilla.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm tasting.
So, Mitch, you say diet strawberry vanilla in your right hand in the small, and what's your guess for the other one?
She brought up Dr. Pepper first, so this is a tricky one.
Okay.
And I think that this is a flavored Dr. Pepper. I don't, but it doesn't taste exactly like strawberries and cream. These 2-barrel Wiger challenges are tough.
Is there cherry Dr. Pepper flavor?
Mm-hmm. It might be cherry.
Oh,
that might be cherry,
you know what?
Dr.
I
Pepper
think this
regular.
is cherry.
And wow.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? You fucker. And this is strawberries and cream?
Do you want to lock in your guesses?
I mean, it seems like we're walking. It feels like this is like the first time ever in the Wiger Challenge where we've kind of come to the same conclusion.
My thought, and I'm not locking it in yet. We're just going to converse. This feels like cherry Dr. Pepper, and this feels like the strawberry vanilla or whatever.
Yeah, strawberry and cream. Yeah.
Strawberry cream. Yeah, that is where my heart is leaning.
I know you're saying DP heavy, like just straight up Dr. Pepper.
No, you know what? I now don't think it is. I do think it's Diet Dr. Pepper. This is Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper. This is Diet Strawberry and Cream Dr. Pepper.
You think both are diet? Okay.
Yeah.
Understandable. Yeah.
Becky is taking another swig.
Maybe this is diet. Okay. Yeah. I think it could be diet. Yeah.
Are we locked in on the same one?
I think we're locked in. It'll be a tie. Yeah. We're locked in the same one.
Wow, you're both making the same guesses. This is unprecedented.
Wait, let me ask a question. Is there a chance you mixed, you put anything else?
Nothing has been altered.
Nothing
has been
tricks.
altered. These are both
Before
straight
you
out
reveal,
of the
do you want
container.
for the fun of it, should we go with different answers?
I mean, it's up to you.
Okay, I'll say, is there like a vanilla Pepsi, Diet Pepsi version of it? Maybe that could be this. I mean, I could see this being Pepsi, the short glass. Like a strawberry cream Pepsi.
I guess there's not even a lot of Dr. Pepper taste to it.
Yeah. Just this, I know the smell, like when you put your nose on a cup of Dr. I don't know why.
I'm gonna lock in to Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper and Diet Cherries. Sorry, Diet Cherry. Diet Strawberries and Cream Dr. Pepper. Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper. That's where I'm locked in.
Okay.
And
I want to lock in this as regular cherry Dr. Pepper. And this, I'll say that it is Diet Strawberries and Cream Pepsi.
Wow. On that last one, Becky, I think I have to give it to Mitch because they are both Dr. Pepper varietals, as I said earlier, but they are the zeros. Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream. You are correct, but it's strawberries and cream 0 and Dr. Pepper cherry 0.
I think this is a tie, honestly, because
you want to call it a tie.
You said cherry, and also you brought up Dr.
You
Pepper.
did bring up Dr. Pepper first.
And I was very sure that this was strawberries and cream.
Yeah.
I think this is a tie.
Well, there are two cans.
I don't think I deserve it.
For the two of you to divide amongst yourselves.
You can have, as a guest, you get first choice.
I will take, which one? We got
the strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper 0 and the cherry Dr. Pepper 0.
I will go with cherry. What do you think? Are you okay with?
No, I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Yes.
I'm just fuming.
This is.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Wow, that was a well fought Wiger challenge.
I never
You're
drank.
good at it. You're
I
a good
never
Wiger
drank
challenge
soda
person.
growing up, and that's what's
Really?
so weird. Yeah, I wasn't a soda drinker. I was always like afraid of the fizz. It was too tickly.
Oh, you were afraid of it. This wasn't like, because a lot of times when I know someone who didn't drink soda as a kid, a lot of times it came from their parents being like, soda's banned in the house.
Oh no, my parents wanted me to drink soda. They're like, be normal, you weirdo.
I think the 0 actually did make that slightly confusing.
Yeah, right.
I think it was because it was. Maybe points to the 0 brand. It was hard to tell that one of them was Diet. And then when you were like, "Are you sure that both of them?" and I was like, "Wait,
yeah,
let me taste this again." I was like, "That is not full sugar."
I think those were. I think the DP flavored zeros are hitting. I think those are all working really well.
Pretty
for
good.
Me.
I need to have 0 more. I don't do 0 like whenever I do drink soda.
Yeah.
I never go for 0 stuff, but now I think I'm converted.
Do you do diet? What do you do?
I just do regular.
Oh, you do regular?
Yeah.
Those are fun though.
Yeah,
I know.
I think that the cherry is the better of the two. I think the cherry's masks maybe the if you're trying the two of them.
Yeah.
I think the cherry maybe masks. Did you try this or no?
Yeah, I've had both these. Yeah. No, these are. I think the cherry vanilla can be, or the cherries and cream. Wait, strawberries and cream versus the cherry can be a little bit sciencey because it's a compound
sciencey.
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, and it like you can taste that the diet chemicals, and then this one, which is obviously not a good thing, and then this one, I think maybe the cherry masks that a little bit, or like the cherry maybe also makes it taste a little more like Dr. Pepper, like where this tastes less like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But both pretty good. I think they're
I think they're great.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah.
Mitch goes to 17, 12, and 5 in the Wiger Challenge. Another tie.
You know what? I tied with someone who was good. I respected their soda tasting art.
Yeah.
What can I say?
That was a hell of a battle.
You're talking about me?
I respect your soda tasting art.
Do you hear that, Mom and Dad? No.
I tied with a great one. What can I say? It was tricky. I wonder if the normal person. I mean, I guess the most normal people could probably figure this out, right?
What are you talking about?
Like taste tests like this. Are we freaks? I guess is what I was trying to figure out.
I think you're pretty good at the Wiger Challenge. I think you have a pretty sophisticated palate for this sorts of thing, for the sweet sodas of the world and all the different beverages that we're likely to taste here.
We've talked about this before. I could 100% blindfolded if someone gave me burgers from McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King.
But also for like Gatorade flavors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have a good nose for that.
But you could do that too. If blindfolded and they gave you all sorts of different burgers, you could do it. And
I always feel like
fries,
the blindfolded challenges are harder than you think.
They are, but also it's like if someone like threw an A&W, I'd be like, okay, sure, I don't really know A&W that well, and that's going to be tougher.
Yeah.
But if they were like, you have like 6 burgers in there from all this spot, I think I could do it.
Man, that's content.
I'm just going to say,
Patreon episode right there.
As I am a Patreon subscriber, I would like to see this episode. Both of you blindfold each other.
We got to stop you right there. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, please unsubscribe. Hey, that was a Wiger Challenge, just like a restaurant about your feedback. Let's open up the feedback. Today's email is from Mike from Philadelphia. Wow. Mike writes, my wife and I recently had a baby, and all of our time has been dedicated to this little gremlin. Because of this, we had little time to cook tasty meals, let alone eat at all. We've come to rely on ultra-quick, no-prep meals like bag salads, frozen pizzas, tuna melts, and cereal. My question is, what is your favorite low or no-prep meal that you can quickly throw together when you just don't have the bandwidth to think about planning it out? Mike, music plug for Mike is homesickanimal.bandcamp.com.
Check that out.
P.S. This 10-pound baby produces some gnarly milk shits. So I shudder to imagine the nightmare Mitch's mom lives through when changing his full diaper.
Dear God. Also, you think I'm just like drinking milk a bunch as an adult? My mom does not change my diaper anymore. I moved out here almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So she's not changing my diaper for 20 years at least.
At least that long.
She is out here she's been out here for a week.
Truly a disgusting thing to read there at the end.
Also,
really
hearing
gross PS,
this little gremlin makes you think that it's possibly some sort of romance between this man and a gremlin. Lady Gremlin at the end of Gremlins 2 is quite the babe.
Yeah, we don't have clarity on whether or not Mike is an orc and has romanced a human lady and has produced a gremlin spawn.
I think in the future, people should write in what species they are.
Let us know if you are an orc or a centaur. We'd love to know. Or an alien.
At the end of Gremlins 2, if you remember, the lady gremlin is with that guy. She has a big...
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, man. She, like, loves that one guy.
Right.
And then if you remember...
Wait, is he horny or is he like, uh-oh?
At the end of it, like, he's just... At the end of it, he's kind of like
it's a living. It's kind of that attitude. Like,
yeah, I think he's kind of just like, well, I might as well, it's like clocking in at the jack-off factory or whatever.
Oh, it's just Thursday. Yeah.
This is a good question. I forgot what it was already.
The question is, you don't have any time to cook because you've got a kid or you got whatever going on in your life. And what is your no prep meal? Like, you're not ordering in. You got to have something at home that you got to prep quickly. What are your options?
That's good.
Mike is listing like bag salads, frozen pizza, tuna melts, and cereal.
I mean, of course, frozen pizza is great but like that almost feels like a cheat. I'm saying if you like have no time at all, grilled cheese, peanut butter and jelly for me.
Sure.
Grilled cheese, or feels more like a dinner. I know you'll like this one. A little quesadilla, Wags.
Quesadilla is great. My answer was going to be like just a scramble because you don't even have to use the brain power to like make an omelet. You just like, I'm going to heat up this pan. I'm going to put some, I've been using ghee lately, some clarified butter, which is just like I don't even have to worry about the pan getting too hot and burning my butter. I'll just throw that in there and it's fine.
Wow.
And then I could cook up some eggs real quick, and then whatever you fucking want to toss in there, because that's like whatever you got. Some vegetables that are left over, some deli meats or something, or some shredded cheese, whatever you want to throw in there. You can just sort of mix that up, and that's a real quick burst of protein. Also, just having bag salads. I mean, that was mentioned there, but like having bag salads is really handy. I'll fucking have that all the time. It's like, whatever I can prep some sort of protein or something and just have like a handful of fucking salad out of the bag with dressing. And that's a meal.
Nick the Greek is about to sleep with the fishes, if you catch my drift.
I don't.
I got a shit.
Jesus Christ.
Should we call your mom?
I texted her.
Okay, good.
I texted her. I haven't said the word.
Yeah.
I guess that's filthy in its own way. I gotta go to the bathroom soon, but look.
Well, we're coming towards the end of the episode.
I know we
you
are.
Can hang in there for a little bit more.
This is great. Every time this has happened to me before, it's been during an episode.
Right.
You know how it is. It's happened to you before. Let's not pretend it hasn't.
That's being a human being with a body. Sometimes you have to go to the bathroom at an inopportune time.
Mm-hmm. Look, it seems like that life. It just seems like hell for a while. And you're eating and sleeping whenever you can.
Right.
I think if I was in your scenario, like eggs are a great thing that you can keep for a couple weeks. I know that, like, right? You can keep eggs like 2 to 3 weeks.
Have a pretty good shelf life. I actually think that actually does bring me to something, which is that just having eggs on hand are really handy for plussing up whatever. Like you got some ramen, drop a fucking egg in your ramen, or have some hard-boiled eggs that you can just sort of like throw in there, because like it's really easy to plus up some ramen to all of a sudden it feels like a real meal. Like you toss some green onions in there, toss in some sliced hard-boiled egg. All of a sudden it's feeling a little bit more like an actual lunch.
I also think we've talked about this before. I mean, besides we talk about takeout a lot, but I know this is cheating. I know it's not in your house, but grabbing a rotisserie chicken at the supermarket always pretty helpful.
Yeah, because the leftovers are good too. You make chicken salad out of that, whatever you want to do. Yeah,
a little chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
we had a Kismet rotisserie, my mom and I, for dinner the other night.
Oh, there you go.
She made herself a little chicken sandwich the next day. It looked good. Anyway, what do you have? Do you have thoughts on this, Becky?
I feel like there are like. I don't really cook that much when I'm just like, it's just me in my house. So I will do, like the 90-second rice packets and like a can of beans and some seasoning. And I'll just do like a quick microwave beans and rice in under 3 minutes. It's not like, fun.
Right.
But, if you need something in your body, that's, I do that.
I've definitely done like this honestly became a pandemic meal for me with some frequency, is like fucking just like cooking hot dogs like in a can of beans. Like just like put that in a pot and it just like whatever, I can heat this all up, and this is some protein and some fiber.
That's how Natalie tricked you into taking the vaccine. She put it put it in a pot of beans and hot dogs.
It is one of those meals that just looks fucking nasty when you got like, it's just like, I can't believe I'm eating this, but it's pretty great. Does sustain you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a kid. What's funny is I was like potting with my brother and sister when they had their baby, and we got Zenku chicken every night when this baby was so tiny. Yeah, and it's like, I have fond memories of it.
Yeah, honestly, just the idea of it, because frozen pizzas and stuff like that, obviously great if you have them. But then like burger patties, if you toss a burger patty and then whatever bread you got on there, you put a burger on a English muffin, you put a burger on whatever, some toast, you're good to go.
Yeah.
And don't hesitate to ask your friends to make a casserole, because those will last for a very long time.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you should be getting some friend.
Yeah, your friends.
Friend
yeah.
food.
Yeah, you need friend food.
The only plus side of your dad dying, you get all this food.
Grim.
Some of the best food I've had has been at
dad joke. You wouldn't get it. What's that?
Some of the best food I've ever had has been at Shiva's. I get kind of not excited, but it's just like, ooh, you're ordering from Famous. Yes, like
they give you get. I mean, people just flood you with food. It's too much.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like obviously the birth of a child. It's a joyous occasion, but it's quite the opposite of a parent dying. But it's similar, right? I don't know. Maybe you don't get as much food as when someone passes away, though.
Maybe people want to give you shit. Maybe people want to help you out. Yeah.
That's what I do when someone has a baby. I try to get them something to eat. You know, like
like a meal train.
Who cares about the fucking babies? Doesn't know shit.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Fucking shit.
When there's a baby, the people who are losing their mind the most are the parents. Like the baby is fine. The baby's just living its life.
Yeah.
And so I usually make like a huge casserole, like tin thing of macaroni and cheese. And they can just have it for the week.
That's great.
Put it in the oven or the microwave. Do what you want with it. Have fun.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I don't know why I was so mean to that person. But...
There you go. Fucking eat it. I think there is something to just also like putting a little bit of work into the presentation. Like for me, like if I'm going to have, okay, you know what this meal is going to be? It's going to be wheat toast with peanut butter, sliced bananas, and honey. But if I just kind of make that look kind of nice, like I do the nice little honey drizzle, and I put that on a plate with like the square, it's all like cut all nicely. It kind of like feels like a proper meal. Like that kind of also helps me from losing my mind when I'm just eating something in a pinch. So I would say also like if you have a second, like maybe make it look like a meal.
Yeah, like even like smashing avocado over a piece of bread, and then
sure.
like that makes it fancy. You know?
New parents are going to make it look like a meal. They're going to do the slop bowl, if anything.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if you have a moment and you're just like, hey, first off, this isn't just about, like, new parents. This is just, like, talking about the general experience. But I'm saying, like, if you're limited in time and resources, but you can dedicate attention to something, I don't know. I think it's fine to take, like, an extra few seconds to kind of make your plate look nice. To, like, I'm not just eating pure garbage. Like, I feel like I'm actually eating a meal. You know, just for the sake of sanity.
Too bad my dad can't die again. Get that bounty. What? I've already went through it. I'm saying he's already gone. So then, like he came back and he's gone again. I get all the shit again.
Do you want us to just come and give you dinner? Just ask. Just set up a meal train. Set up a meal train for no reason. People will sign up and give you dinner.
I can't make dead dad jokes on my. That's the benefit of having a dead dad. That's what you get. You get to make the dead dad.
Say whatever you want.
You get a nice little. You get an edible. You get so many edible arrangements. That's what I remember the most. It's like 17 edible arrangements on our porch.
Yeah, I feel like if you're thinking of sending the edible arrangement in that context, maybe like someone else probably got the edible arrangement covered. I don't need to be the edible arrangement guy. Someone's on that duty.
There was truly there was 15 edible arrangements. This March, they were on our enclosed porch because it was cold outside. You know, they were fucking delicious.
Yeah, that's got to be so much of their business is just delivering a big fucking decorated basket of fruit to people who are grieving.
If you see the edible arrangement truck coming, you better, count your blessings.
Call your parents. But serious question. Did edible arrangements just become edible, or did I see a different company?
Wow.
That's a great question. That a lot of companies are doing that. They're doing the Sean Parker. They're dropping part of their brand and just like making it really.
Yeah.
It might be. They might just be like, hey, just edible arrangement sounds too specific.
I feel like I saw a commercial for it like last night when I was watching Jeopardy, but I could be wrong. I could have imagined it.
Edible arrangements does feel like a modern day like casket man or coroner or something. Like they come to your street, you're like, oh, this kind of something's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like there's like a thing where like an edible arrangements like truck comes to your house and they give it to your wife and she's like, thank you, I miss my husband so much. That's how you find out you're fucking dead. I'm a fucking ghost.
They should have ended
and then your wife's
like,
that
way.
Come inside. I'm lonely.
Oh, shit. She's sucking off the edible arrangement guy. Oh, shit. He's a fucking minotaur.
There are ghosts. There is ghost sex, too. Yeah, that was what I was forgetting.
The URL is still edible arrangements.
Oh, okay.
But the brand just says edible.
Okay.
You're correct.
Okay. There we go.
Wow.
Interesting.
Straight to the point, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Edible food. Really clinical name for an eatery. To get the Doughboys Double, our weekly bonus episode, plus our entire pre-2018 back catalog. That's exciting. Wow. Subscribe at patreon.com/Doughboys. Our producer is Emma Erdbrink. Our associate producer is Amelia Marino. Our engineer is Casey Donahue. And our video editor is Mike Dorfman. Our guest today, Becky Feldman. Thanks for coming back, Becky. What a treat.
Oh my God, you guys are the best. You guys are the best.
That's you, Becky. That's a mirror queen.
I saw your one-woman show, and it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you doing that again in 2024 anytime soon?
I want to, and I'll keep everyone posted. Yeah.
Let people know. Anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, I have my podcast, Too Stupid to Live. There are, at this point, going to be episodes where I review an alien Hanukkah romance. It's going to be good. I'm excited for that one.
That's so insane.
I had a blast. Well, it's been years at this point, but I had a blast when I did your podcast. A very, very funny podcast.
You're welcome back anytime.
I'd love to. Now that I know about this orc romance genre.
Oh, come on! Did I drop out or something stupid?
Everyone happens with guests,
is that what happened? Was I supposed to be on the show and I didn't?
There have been a few book-related podcasts that the Doughboys were supposed to guest and end up Wiger guesting. I just want to say that.
Well, we were talking Roald Dahl earlier, and that's probably one of the last books I've read. I would love to be on. I can read a book.
Yeah, you can definitely read one of these books.
They're very easy.
They're very breezy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fucking horny.
I love this. It probably will cause me to read it. My mom was in my room, and next to the bed was Confederacy of Dunces, and I've never read it.
Yeah,
and I bought it to read it, and she was like, "This book's great," and she's like, "You'll never read this." I was like, "Why not?" She's like, "It's long. You're just not going to read it ever." Fuck. It's probably right. Anyway.
Anyway, that'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. Until next time, for the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell, I'm Nick Wiger. Happy eating.
See ya. Gotta send Nick the Greek to the fishes.
Oh my God, damn it.
What?
Want to dress like the Doughboys? We don't recommend that. Instead, get all your favorite Doughboys merch at doughboys.kinshipgoods.com. Sources for the intro are in the episode description.
That was a Headgum podcast.